the microphone at KOP and tell the world that I was an American, and glad of it. By 6:30, I was so nervous my hands were trembling. I went into the kitchen and poured myself a straight shot. I was still there when the door buzzer sounded. Well, here it was. I got up, feeling a sense of anticipation that was almost eerie. Then I forgot that, got everything and back at the job at hand, and crossed to the door. I knew the man who was standing there all right. Knew him very well indeed. It was Pappy Mansfield.
Pappy, what the devil?
Never mind that now. We're going to hide.
Hide? Do you realize that?
I realize everything. Get me out of sight in a hurry.
Okay, come in. In there.
Keep away from the windows.
Good deal. See you later.
Yeah. See you later. You bet he'd see me later, the old goat. Didn't he realize he almost loused up 2 weeks of work on my part? I didn't have much time to think about it. Less than 2 minutes later, the buzzer sounded again. This time I thought it was going to be the McCoy.
Hello, Chuck.
Travers Bullard.
Surprised, eh?
Yeah, I thought that you...
Sorry about that crack on the jaw, my boy, but I had to make sure you were convinced I wasn't the leader.
You convinced me, all right.
And you've convinced me and the other members of our little group that you weren't working a gag. You'll make a good member of the party, son. We're glad to have you with us.
Thanks.
Now, let's get down to business, shall we? You'll find all your instructions in this envelope. In 2 days, you'll leave for New York. One of our agents will meet you at the airport.
Anything else in the envelope?
One of the first things you'll have to learn, my boy, is not to ask questions. Just obey orders. But since you're new to the organization, I'll let you in on a few things. That envelope is loaded with information about the future plans of a couple of our biggest airplane plants.
You mean that you... But how?
The Los Angeles Weekly News Ledger is a big and powerful magazine, my boy. And a man as well trusted as I, well, there are ways. Now then...
Travers Bullard. Well, this is a day I never expected to see.
Mansfield. Morgan, did you... for 2 weeks we tried to trip you up. No, I don't believe it. Our organization is too perfect. We never make mistakes.
You've made one, Bullard, a beaut. All the evidence you need to put you where you belong is contained right here in this envelope.
No, you'll never expose me. Never. I've worked too hard. There's too much at stake.
Watch him, Chuck. He's got a gun.
Yes, I see he has. That makes things even. The man behind him has one, too.
You can't fool me with that one. It's too old and corny. Now stand over there, both of you.
Suit yourself, Bullard. If you figure that dying's better than prison.
Look out, Pappy!
It was quite a fight. Pappy had tripped over a rug, and Bullard, suspecting a trick, had swung on him, which was my cue to repay with interest that crack on the jaw he'd given me down at the Ledger office. Bullard, however, was a powerful man, and it took a lot of doing to get him under control. His gun went off in the fracas, but it didn't hurt anybody. He's still alive. Those of you who listen to my broadcast know where he is now. He's got a private room in a big gray building with iron bars on the window. Pappy and I got back to the station around 10 o'clock. Here's your office, Pappy. Now tell me, what was the idea of almost lousing up my good work by showing up at the apartment 5 minutes before Bullard arrived?
It occurred to me at the last minute that 2 witnesses to his dialogue would be more effective at a trial, especially with you having seemingly gone over to the Reds.
Yeah, I see, you're right. Well, as it turned out, the information contained in the envelope would have been enough.
That's right. Trouble is, I didn't know there were going to be an envelope. Well, anyhow, it's okay now. Oh, she's waiting for you in your office. Good night.
So long, Pappy. It's good to be back. See you. Hi, Glamour Puss.
Hi, Chuck. Your script's ready for the 11 o'clock broadcast. Want to read it over?
Oh, I don't know. What's in it?
The facts about you executing Travis Bullard.
No kidding. How'd you know about that?
Pappy phoned me.
Did he now?
Mm-hmm.
I see you're all in a sweat about having me back.
I knew you'd be back.
No kidding. How'd you know that?
Well, I figured it out. You went ramming out of here that night Pappy wrote your script and yelling at me to write another. And then you came back and said you were going to use the one Pappy wrote. Oh, I'm not so dumb.
No, as a matter of fact, you're nowhere near as dumb
Don't
as...
you say it. Don't you dare. If you tell me once more I'm not as dumb as I look, I'll brain you with this typewriter.
You know something, Larifus?
What?
You're a ham.
Why,
You're putting on an act. What you really want to do is bawl and fling your arms around my neck and tell me you're glad to have me back.
I don't at all. Oh, Chuck.
Larifus.
Out, dead tired. But I kept on walking through the mist. And suddenly I started hearing footsteps behind me. I turned around, and then I saw him. He was walking along slow, dragging his feet, walking as if he couldn't see. His face was all covered with blood. But I knew who it was. It was Miller, the guy I'd killed.
Midnight, the witching hour when the night is darkest, our fears the strongest, and our strength at its lowest ebb. Midnight, when the graves gape open and death strikes. How? You'll learn the answer in just a minute in The Dead Come Back. Midnight. Tales of mystery and terror by radio's masters of the macabre. Our story by William Morwood will threaten your sanity. Its title, The Dead Come Back. About 1 o'clock in the morning, on a dark, deserted street, standing in the doorway of a gloomy brownstone house, a man with a wild expression on his face rings the bell desperately. There is no answer. He rings again. Then...
Hey, Doc Paget.
Why, yes.
The brain doc knows what goes on in a guy's head.
Well, yes, I'm a psychiatrist.
I've got to talk to you.
It's very late. If you come back tomorrow during office hours...
Now, Doc. Something's been happening to me. Something that's driving me nuts.
I'm sorry, but...
Get inside.
Be careful with that.
It won't go off until I pull a trigger. Better sit down, Doc.
Very well.
Just to make sure we understand each other, I put this gun here on the desk. And my watch. We got just half an hour to get everything cleared up.
And then?
And then, I got a guy to kill.
Suppose we start at the beginning. Your name?
Lefty O'Connor.
O'Connor?
So you heard of me, huh?
I'm not sure, but the Tilson murder case.
That's right.
But as I remember
That's right. They decided I was nuts, put me away. But get this straight, Doc.
Yes?
I was never out of my head, and I ain't now.
I see.
Insanity was something that I cooked up to keep from burning. I played it up all right. Good enough to make monkeys out of the doctors and the jury. But when I got to the nut house, it was different. I didn't have to pretend no more. You know, Doc, some of them whacks act just as sane as you and me. Yeah, I was getting along fine. Till 2 nights ago, when I was called in to see the superintendent. He was a white-haired old guy, named Miller.
Sit down, Lefty.
Cigarette? Thanks, Mr. Miller.
Here you are.
What's that?
This? Just a music box. Plays when you open the lid.
That ain't just a... What are you trying to do to me?
Oh, what do you mean, Lefty? I just offered you a...
That's the box I kept talking about at the trial. The one old Mrs. Tilson kept her jewels in.
I'm afraid you're mistaken, Lefty.
In a pig's eye. I know what you're trying to do. But I don't remember nothing. Nothing, you hear?
And why does this tune seem to disturb you, sir?
Never mind why. Turn it off.
Yes, well, take it easy, Lefty. I called you in here because I want to help you.
You're trying to trick me into admitting I knew what I was doing when I hit old lady.
Nothing of the kind.
Next you'll be asking me where I hid the jewels. Don't you think I know that routine?
There's no routine here, Lefty.
You're a liar, Mr. Miller. You got me in here to give me the third degree, to try to break me down all over again. Well, you won't do it. Better get out of it. Let's see. Put down that paperweight, so light. I didn't have no idea of escaping when I hit him, Doc. I was just scared. I was scared of what would happen if he kept after me. When I found a gun in his desk drawer, I began making plans fast. I brought him around and told him exactly what he had to do. We went out, got into his car, started for the gate. Okay, Miller, it's up to you now. I understand. Now remember, I'll be lying back here with this gun against your spine.
Evening, Mr. Miller.
Hello, George.
Going out kind of late, aren't you, sir?
Yes. Something unexpected came up.
You wouldn't be smuggling out anyone under that rug and back, sir, huh?
I might. Yep, looks suspicious.
Just the right shape for a man. But I'll take a chance on you, sir. Okay, Charlie. Open up for the super. Okay. Open it up. Good night, Mr. Miller.
Turn the left fork here.
Now, the Granville Road. I was afraid of this, Lefty. Tilson Estate's up this way, isn't it?
You're too smart for your own good, Mr. Miller. You can turn off here.
There's no road.
In under the trees.
All right. What happens now? Do we walk the rest of the way?
One of us does. Get out. You're no use to me anymore.
Let you know. Put that gun away. You can't. You fool. You won't get rid of me this way. You
I left him there beside his car and started walking. I don't know how long I was at it. Maybe an hour when I hit the outskirts of town. The light was kind of funny. It was different from anything I'd ever seen. It was kind of yellow. Kind of yellow mixed with a mist that was curling up. Maybe I was tired, I don't know. But suddenly I began to hear footsteps behind me. I looked around, and then I saw him. He was walking on the other side of the road, blind, as if he couldn't see where he was going. His feet were kind of dragging along. His face was covered with blood. But through the blood, I could see that it was him. Miller. I don't know what happened then, Doc. I must have passed out. Because the next thing I knew, somebody, people, faces bending over me.
He's coming too, Tom.
Yeah. How are you feeling, chum?
Hey,
He's as white as if he'd seen a ghost.
who are you?
I'm Ruth Mason. This is my brother, Tom.
We live right by. We heard you yell and came running out.
Did you see anyone else?
I know.
On the road?
No. You were lying right in the middle of the road till we pulled you off. What happened? The car hit you?
I don't remember.
Well, take his arm. Help him up, Tom.
Okay, sure.
Here we go, Mo. The name is Sims. Johnny Sims. I'm all right.
You look kind of bushed to me.
I've been walking all night. Out of a job, see, and broke.
Well, our house is right over there. You come on in and we'll
Well,
fix...
thanks. I gotta keep moving.
What's the rush if you're just looking for a job?
Well, Hey,
Cops coming this way.
Probably looking for that man that escaped from the state hospital.
That's right. They said that.
But, Johnny, what's the matter? You look as if you're going to faint again.
I guess I must be worse than I thought. Look, does that invite still hold?
Well, of course. Right this way. Something more, Johnny?
No, thanks, Ruth. Wouldn't manage another thing. Pull up.
Oh, well, then you lie right down on that sofa. That is, if Tom will get off with his paper.
Oh, sure. I was just reading some more about that guy, Lefty O'Connor, that broke out of the asylum. Seems he forced the superintendent to drive him out in a car.
Please, Tom,
Let's not talk about it. It gives me the creeps to think of anyone like that being loose.
Maybe he ain't so bad.
He's a murderer, Johnny. A homicidal maniac.
How do you know? Maybe the super deserved killing.
The super?
Yeah.
But the paper doesn't say anything about the super being killed.
Well, Ruth said...
I meant the old lady, Mrs.